Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, When You Finish Saving the World. Came out in 2022, although on IMDb it floats to the top saying it came out in 2023. I think it's 2022, not that that matters, but it's about this woman who, wait, I have to read it. I'm sorry. I don't know. Evelyn and her oblivious son, Ziggy, seek out replacements for each other as Evelyn desperately tries to parent an unassuming teenager at her shelter while Ziggy fumbles through his pursuit of a brilliant young woman at school. Okay, I get it. Alright. That makes more sense now that I read it. But like, the mother is trying to replace her son by working with some kid at a shelter. He is replacing his mother by some teacher or something like that. I don't know. It is only 5.6 on IMDb, but only 3,260 people rated it so far. If it really came out in 2022, that's not that many. Julianne Moore and Finn Wolfhard, is that how you say his name? Right? Wolfhard? Yeah. From Stranger Things, right? And that's all I recognize right now. So we'll see. I don't know. Could be interesting. Hour and 27, 28 minutes long, so not that long. Could be good. Could be awful. Stick around. I'll let you know. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of when you're done saving the world, right? That's what I think it's called. Yeah, when you finish saving the world. And Julianne Moore and Finn Wolfhard. It's better on my screen. We're at the credits, no check-ins, right? So Finn and Julianne Moore play mother and son, and as I mentioned, she kind of looks, you know, she runs a shelter, and she's like trying to befriend a young kid, like kind of replace her son, you know, in a sense, and wants to help him grow and develop, 17-year-old. Whereas Finn, kind of different story. He is a musician. That's one tough word for me to say all the time. Still can't do it all these years. And he plays for people on some, it's like kind of on YouTube, but people like him and follow him. He's very into that, and that's what his whole world centers around. But he also has a girl at school that he has a crush on, and he's trying to change to impress her. She's more politically driven. She was 13 Reasons girl. I forget her name, but whatever. She was in that show. And so he's trying to become, you know, more in her limelight. And, you know, so I thought it was like a teacher at school that he was trying to replace his mom, but that's not the case. He just has a crush on somebody. He's trying to be somebody different. Whereas actually the mother is ultimately trying to find a child that she likes more and help him further. Is the way I take it. That's your plot line. That's better than what IMDb said, I think. And that's the whole kit and caboodle for this movie. Now, acting aside, this was not for me. This is probably one of my not favorite movies. I did find myself on the phone a lot. I don't think I missed a lot. The relationship between the child or the adolescent, whatever, the teenager and their parents was just appalling to me. And I say that not to be judgmental to anybody else, however else you raise your kids and stuff like that. You know, it's not the way I was raised, and it's not the way I want to raise my kids. And maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm not doing it right, but the way that he treats his parents in under 8 minutes. Watch the first 8 minutes of this movie. I almost checked back in and was like, whoa, you know. And it wasn't even. It's not like a heated argument, fight. He just says things to his parents that are just what, you know. And that back and forth and that type of relationship continues throughout the entire movie. Drove me nuts. Couldn't stand it. So for that reason, I did not like this movie. I think the idea is that these two go out finding something else in their world that they're not getting at home, right? So they're trying to replace something that they're not getting at home, and you know, hopefully there's a good story at the end and whatever, and maybe. So if that interests you, you'll watch and see what happens. But for me, I just couldn't get past that. I mean, I was okay with the fact that she ran a shelter and she's helping people, and that's great. And the fact that she's looking to help another individual, like I don't know, treat them as a child of their own and help them, great, okay. She gets a little overbearing, but that's the plot, right? And I'm okay with Finn's character being so into music and so into this girl that he really wants to change and do all these different things, but he just doesn't get it. Like, she's so saving the world, and he's like, I'll save the world if it makes me money kind of thing. That's all cool. That's cool. But when the whole catalyst for all of this is the bad relationship at home, or that kind of thing, that just irked me. I know it's part of what the movie... So, in the world of making movies and impacting emotions and stuff like that, they're very successful. So, you step back and say, well, that's what they wanted you to feel. That's what, that's the whole reason they put this movie together in the plot line, right? So the acting, the writing, the directing, everything's spot on. But from a pure audience seeker of movies, I didn't like it because of that. Because of how good of a job they did. How about that? So there you go. I don't know. That's what I got. And it could be, and I hate to say generational thing, and maybe it's the new wave of doing different things, just not for me. And it bothered me enough to be on my phone and not pay a lot of attention. But I don't think I missed a lot. I was, but there you go. That's it. I'm not going to ramble on anymore. 5 for me. I want to go lower, but I have to keep in mind that just because the content of the movie wasn't to my liking, the making of the movie was probably better than I'm giving it credit for. There you go. That's it. Hopefully I'm helpful in some form or fashion. And thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.